Right, this is a quick walk around video. This is for a Honda CR-V 2-litre executive, and this is an automatic car. 2006 registered with just 60,300 miles. Finished in black, looks absolutely fantastic. It's got the optional side steps, high level rear spoiler, privacy glass, and really is a lovely example. All the lights and lenses completely intact. There's no cracks, condensation or otherwise in any of those. Front of the car's very clean indeed. Only the odd minor stone chip to report of hardly any note. Likewise, bonnet again, all in really nice order. Near side of the vehicle, just to show you there the stance with the side steps, it really does look, it's a fabulous looking car, and in really lovely condition. Front wing there is absolutely unmarked. Front alloy, in fact all the alloys are in fantastic condition. They almost look as new. Full set of Bridgestone tyres all around on the car, which is a lovely sign of ownership. Rear alloy again, completely unmarked. Bridgestone again. And then just come around this really nice angle from the back here with the high level rear spoiler there. It just, really just looks right, this car. All around the back again, very clean and tidy. And then off side of the vehicle, again very clean in the paintwork. There's a couple of very sort of minor little car parking dimple dents which any decent dent man could pull out very easily indeed, but the price it's been sold at, I can't afford to do anything on those at this stage. So not that it really needs it in all honesty, it's just me sort of nitpicking. We are talking about an 11-year-old car after all. And then final alloy there. I mean, it really is one of the cleanest you'll see at this or any other sort of mileage or age. So offside rear door card, absolutely clean as a whistle. All the carpeted areas in really fantastic condition. Back of the seats there, again, not always a given on CR-V. Kids tend to sort of kick the heck out the back of the seats, but these are in lovely condition. Apologise, the light's not great on that one, but that door card is as clean as a whistle, as is the leatherwork, which is in absolutely extraordinary condition. Coming to the front now, driver's door card again, really very nice indeed. Leatherwork in the front, as with the rear, has been kept in quite extraordinary condition. It really has. Whoever's had the car has kept this vehicle beautifully. It's a real credit to them as well. Obviously executive car, so we get the electric sunroof up above our head, just, you know, and that's sort of electric slide on there, all working exactly as it should. It even tilts up there if you want it to. So sat inside the car, dashboard in all honesty, as I say in this sort of subsequent road test video, just looks almost as new. It's remarkable, it really is. It's got to stop using remarkable as a word. Sat nav working perfectly. All the plastics, cool box, climate control working exactly as it should. Then in the middle here, got this little tray, and there's a little handle underneath if you want to. You could just pop that out the way to give you extra space between the two seats there, or latch it back up into position. Heated seats working exactly as they should, just pop those on there for you. But I tried those earlier and they're working exactly as they're intended to. And just to come into the dashboard, 60,307 miles and no warning lights on the dashboard at all. This is a facelift version, so it gets the audio controls on the steering wheel, which came on in the sort of the 2005 and onwards models. But as I said, car that kind of really needs to be seen to be appreciated. Videos are helpful, obviously, but they don't really tell the true picture of this car. Just quickly show you there, full owner's manual pack, which includes the sat nav and car manual as well. And very importantly, lock and wheel nut key is here and present with the car. So finally, just come into the engine bay. As with all these Hondas, they do a nice job in the engine bays. Rare to see so much room around an engine in a modern car. But say low mileage, cam chain driven, so there's no cam belts on these cars, so nothing to worry about in that respect. So no big services looming. This car's literally just been serviced today and comes with a long MOT as well. What will follow this video will be a road test video of this very car. Right then, this is a quick road test video. and this is for a Honda CR-V 2-litre executive. This particular car is registered LA06WCG, and mileage at the start of the road test is 60,300 miles. The reason we do the road tests, as I say in all of them, very simple indeed. We want customers to see the car or cars in operation prior to people coming to see us. We get frustrated, obviously, if we go and see a car and there's a problem with it, which we should have been told about. And we think the same applies to any person that comes to see our cars. If there's an issue with it, you get to know about it prior to coming to see us. Otherwise, you have your time wasted, we know that. So the road tests are done on exactly the same road test route as someone will go on themselves, and this is kind of rush hour around here, so it's lovely and quiet. But what I'll do is I'll just go through the car for you, sort of the major sort of mechanical stuff. Starting, of course, with the engine. Obviously, it's a low mileage car, so you expect the engine to be good on this, and it's absolutely fantastic. Starts absolutely instantly. There's no warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Car's been running for some time now, and it's running at a third on the temperature gauge, which is exactly where it wants to be on a Honda car, whether it be a petrol or a diesel. But the engine's fantastic. It's pulls really sweetly, really smoothly, perfectly matched the auto gearbox on the car as well. The automatic gearbox engages absolutely seamlessly, very smooth gear shifts. You should always do the same checks on any automatic, no matter how good they are, and certainly Hondas are some of the very toughest you'll ever experience. So obviously just when they're warm, pop them into neutral, and then just select drive or reverse or vice versa, and just see if there's any delays in engagements or any kind of thuds or clunks when it goes in. If there are, it suggests internal gearbox wear, but there's nothing on this at all. It engages absolutely brilliantly, and it's the quality of the gear shift that impresses. As I said, it's very, very, very smooth in operation. So in terms of kind of engine, gearbox, absolutely spot on, and it sort of fits the mileage absolutely perfectly. Steering of the car is really tight and taut. Track's absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations or anything coming back to the steering wheel at any speed that I've experienced thus far. But it feels really tight in my hand as well. There's no vagueness, no looseness. Again, we keep repeating it. It's what you'd expect given the mileage of the car. But even low mileage ones are being given a hard time sort of in town centres. Can pick up kind of a bit of looseness, but there's nothing in this at all. Chassis of the vehicle, they always ride very comfortably on this age. It was a very, very nice, very comfortable car. In the corners like this one, they sit nice and steady. There's not a lot of body roll, which is kind of rare for this type of car. But it's this one drives very, very nicely. There's no kind of metallic clunks or bangs coming from underneath, which suggests that things like suspension components, the little kind of anti-roll bar links and drop links and suspension struts are all in good order. So I've got the heated seat on just to check that, and it's roasting hot, so that's working perfectly well. I'm just going to give the car in a second a bit of a sharp jab on the brakes just to check the brakes as well. But yeah, it's a nice solid brake pedal. There's absolutely no pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal at all. Suggests everything's in very good order underneath. It's obviously got long MOT, so it obviously has been checked by the ministry garage, or a ministry test rather, so that doesn't come as any surprise. Looking around inside the car, all in absolutely fantastic condition. I mean, we've not even touched it yet. It's not been anywhere near being cleaned, and yet it looks as though it could go straight onto the forecourt. It's just got I can't really criticise it. It looks absolutely fantastic in here. Beautifully built. There's not a hint of a kind of a buzz or a trim or creak from the interior, and this is real build quality. This is, you know, what the motor magazines just cannot get in their heads. It's, you know, they always test cars when they're brand new, and you know, certainly the German stuff, they always say how beautifully built they are, and they do impart a feeling of, you know, solidity. This is build quality, you know, 10, 11 years down the line, you know, and this is where these are just so much better built than any other car in its class, but all working absolutely beautifully. Sat-nav system working perfectly well. It's not always the case on these. It's quite, you know, an old system relatively. Whoever had the car previously has put a USB docking point in there as well, which is quite nice. Got this little cool box down here, works absolutely perfectly as well. Air conditioning's pumping out absolutely ice cold air. Checked that this morning as well. Coming to the main binnacle of the vehicle, all the gauges working absolutely perfectly. These later models, because this is the facelift model, has a little sort of MPG readout, different gauges and dials. You know, so it's a slightly nattier affair than the earlier versions, but as I said, everything's working exactly as it should. Just check the cruise control there as well, again working perfectly on the car. For those who don't know, obviously this is it is a four-wheel drive car, but as I said in all the videos, you know, on the CR-V, this, you know, Honda worked out really quickly that the vast majority of people's driving would be doing this, just driving up and down the road, where you just don't need four-wheel drive. So unlike, you know, permanent four-wheel drive systems, you know, which are constantly whirring away, disadvantage of doing that, of course, is that you'll be using up fuel, chewing up tyres, putting mechanical stress on the vehicle when it doesn't need to. So this car will be running in front-wheel drive now, as the most efficient way to pull a car along. Only as and when it needs to go into four-wheel drive will the car decide, and there's no switches to press. It's brilliantly simple, and I've used these countless times for towing caravans across, you know, soggy pitches, and never got close to getting stuck. You just feel the front wheels start to spin as you lose grip, and then all of a sudden the rear wheel drive kicks in and you've got four-wheel drive, and it's seamless, absolutely seamless. And its simplicity means it's incredibly reliable. We've never touched one, and we've sold thousands of CR-Vs now. Its simplicity gives its reliability, so it does it all for you, nothing to worry about at all. The point of the video is to be critical of the car. Now, normally on a kind of car that's 10, 11 years old, there are a few things to kind of mention, but I cannot find anything on the car, from the major functions of the vehicle, that merits any mention at all. Quite the opposite. It drives absolutely beautifully. It really, really does. Whoever's lucky enough to buy this one would be buying a really lovely car. However, I have missed something on the video, it's not by intensive design, please do give me a call and I'll happily answer any questions you might have about the car.